Hello friends. Counter-Strike is the biggest competitive shooter in history in the whole world. It has spawned the blueprint of the genre for a very good reason. It's fun, easy to pick up, but with endless depth to get sucked into until you realize
that CSGO causes metaphysical retardation.
There's this great aspect of it which adds variety and complexity into the game without sacrificing balance. The economy. Every round you gotta use money to buy the stuff you're gonna use. If you do good stuff like winning, killing the other team, and not dying, you get shmonies. If you lose a round, you get less shmonies. Unless you lose a bunch of them in a row, in which case Valve gives your incompetent ass some disability benefits so your team has a chance to get back in the game. This all means you're not guaranteed to be able to use the best equipment every round. In some rounds, your team will have to use cheap, bad, or God forbid, maybe even French equipment. And sometimes you buy nothing, putting yourselves at a disadvantage in order to save up for proper equipment the next round. Managing your team's economy is a crucial aspect of a game of Counter-Strike, but the prices and money rewards are thoroughly balanced in a way that adds complexity to the game and variety between rounds, but no situation leaves a team unfairly punished with no way to get back into the game. Balance is the key word. Then when BSG was coming up with Arena, someone in there must have been like,
"Hey everyone, got a big money idea, listen up, listen up. Imagine if your friend got you to play Counter-Strike for the very first time. You're forced to play with Glock, worst gun in the game, for 40 hours before you could play a better gun. And then, you only get one gun, which maybe you don't like. So to get a different gun, you have to play 40 hours with Glock again!
this is what my first week of Arena was like. You have loadout trees. When you play with a loadout, you get XP towards the next one in that tree. You pick a loadout before the game starts and you're stuck with it until it ends. In the game, you find that your loadout sucks humongous gorilla penis compared to the ones on the other team. In Counter-Strike, the equipment gap that's there every few rounds is still balanced enough that the weak team can coordinate really well, you can get lucky, you can have a nice plays, something can happen. With Tarkov mechanics, your starter kit might as well be thoughts and prayers. Man, I'm glad that's over with. To get a better loadout, you only have to go through that for another 2 hours? Okay, there were some dudes with killable loadouts on the other team, but that was still really monotonous. You're excited to try something else. Huh. The second loadout is still super ass, and you need more than double the XP to unlock the next one. By now, you can't stand playing underdog with the same shitty gun anymore. It's not even challenging, it's just a chore. Thankfully, you have a kit that still gets dunked on by the good ones. You can at least dunk on this fucking loser. Look at him. Imagine not having played this game for dozens of hours. Plus, you can now get games where you're not immediately outgunned. So, this is the last bad and all, but you realize you're stuck with this kit for the next 30 matches or something. If you're a grass-touching individual, this could be a week's worth of games. If you play like every night. But hey, if you want to try a different class or a different tree, all you gotta do is go through all that again. Only to reach another kit that still gets dunked on by anyone who got here before you. Personally, I'd rather grab some pliers and give myself testicular torsion. So now you're stuck with the next kit for like 60 matches.
Is this gun fun to use, Marcos?
No. Look, just look at it. Does that look fun to you?
No.
And even being on the other side doesn't make the game suddenly great. This is my buddy Zach. Let's give him a round of applause, please. He got the game early and then no-lifed until he got to the one kit with very bulletproof armor, with very bulletproof helmet and face shield and very good gun with very good While the rest of the bros were still playing in our diapers and shooting wet beams at the other team. Hey guys, if you're having a rough game, you can always just shoot Zach in the head. It's good luck. Zach's already really good at Tarkov, but quite often there were matches where he would have to put in an effort to die. Dying on an eco round in Counter-Strike isn't really frustrating, and mowing down an eco rush is still rewarding. Whether I'm Zach or one of Zach's helpless victims, this bullshit gets old really fast. His victims in the game, not the ones in his basement. Yeah? Yeah. They actually did it, yeah. Even when it does work, when you luck into a remotely balanced game, the game modes are so simple and uninspired. Team deathmatch on tiny paintball maps with a 5-minute loading screen, which you have to stare at since the ridiculous amount of downtime in Tarkov somehow was not a learning experience. Then there was this update as I was almost done with the video, which supposedly made it so matchmaking takes into account the average penis length of the kits used in the last few games. But so far, I'm not sure how different it's gonna be. I've only seen starter kits because anyone who grinded 90 games with the same kit to level up was probably doing something else. Crazy, right? And yes, Zach was still bulletproof. Everything else about the progression is about the same though, and it sucks ass. Tarkov's huge depth and variety of equipment, it's like it's right there. It's right there. It might not be their intention, but Tarkov is already enough of a grind fest. Wouldn't Arena be much more interesting if you could try all the stuff from Tarkov out while playing a competitive shooter that, you know, actually feels competitive rather than a mindless grind fest? That variety was there, adding complexity instead of, well, barely being there. Because let's be real, once a Rock and Ball Torture enthusiast out there gets everything unlocked, 95% of these kits might as well not even exist anymore. And while they did exist, most of the time he was probably wishing you could play a different one and still have a fair match.
Where are we going? Bait fire.
Does it matter? You're playing the same kid, aren't you?
Also, the kits cost money, so in theory, if you run expensive ones and lose, eventually you have to go back to getting stepped on your nuts with high heels. So far, it doesn't seem like that will ever be an issue, though. And regardless, it's like they try to jam Tarkov's progression into a casual competitive shooter, like, get in there. But it doesn't fit. It's not like a one-to-one copy of any other games would work either. In games like Valorant and CSGO, like I mentioned, the eco rounds are a disadvantage, not a death sentence. A Call of Duty or Battlefield game with their progression works because the gap between your default PP shooter and the kit that takes 100 hours to unlock is relatively small. Whereas with Tarkov mechanics, dude can look at you wrong and you die, whereas you can shoot him with your whole mag and he's fine. So it will have to be well thought out.
Do it.
That's right. Let it all out.
Oh. Oh, there we go.
Marcos, it's easy to talk shit. How about you come up with something better, huh, wise ass? Well, fuck you, I don't have to. Thankfully, I chose beating my meat till it's purple over making video games. But I'm gonna do some brainstorming anyway in the next video. Not like I have anything better to do. So let me know in the comments how you feel about this scam, I mean, arena game, and what do you think would work better than this current shit-ass system. Also, if you like this video, sucks for you. Who knows when I'll make another one. Just subscribe and hit that like button. Yeah, just in case. Anyways, that's it. Hope you're having a good day, friend. If not, don't forget you can always just shoot Zach in the head. Oh, I wallbanged him.